Hello, everybody. My name is Cameron Earl, and welcome back to Villainous. I am so happy that I finally got my YouTube channel where it is where I think I want it to be, where I can film board games, video games, unboxings with you. And all it took was buying this tripod right here for like 30 bucks. Of course, I do want to get a capture card and a computer and start streaming Switch games eventually. But right now, we're just going to stick with board games and Dead by Daylight for now. But, alright. We are sticking with the Marvel Villainous tournament for this episode. And in this episode, we are doing Hela, Loki, and Venom. So, Hela's goal is she has to have a combination of 8 allies and soul marks and no opposing characters at Odin's Vault. So, she needs to have any combination of soul marks and allies here at Odin's Vault. She could have like 5 allies and 3 soul marks, or 5 soul marks and 3 allies. Either way, it adds up to 8. She has to have at least 1 soul mark in Odin's Vault to win. So she could have like 7 allies here and 1 soul mark, and she would win. But where the real difficulty of her goal happens is the no opposing characters at Odin's Vault. I can see Hela definitely having some problems with that. Because, you know, Loki has a card that can come over to the board, and they could just generally fate her and place all the stuff at Odin's Vault, and she's going to have to deal with all that. Now, she has a good amount of allies who can help her, but she also needs to keep those allies in play. So, how Soul Mark works is she attaches it to a hero anywhere, and whenever that hero is defeated, she gains the Soul Mark and places it at Odin's Vault. Alright, moving on to Loki. Loki is ever so fun. So, basically Loki has to collect and spend 10 of these mischief tokens. So, he has the green side, which shows that the mischief is unspent. Then he has the gray side, which shows that the mischief is spent. And he has to do that for 10 mischief tokens, which he gains by playing multiverse cards, which I don't actually have any in my hand. But he gains by playing multiverse cards, which are, he has 5 of them, and each of them is a different version of Loki that could benefit another player, but if they use that ability, they're also going to end up benefiting Loki, as he's going to gain mischief from that. So, you kind of rely on your opponents to win a little bit, and I think that's where a little bit of the difficulty can come with Loki, if they can easily avoid it. But sometimes Loki can definitely squeeze you into doing the wrong thing and helping him out. But once he gains 10 and spends 10, he wins. And moving over to Venom, I have not played Venom nearly as much as pretty much every other Marvel Villainous character. His goal is to use symbiote tokens to reduce any Spider-Man in your domain to 0 strength. So pretty simple for Venom. Venom has to find a Spider-Man hero, a hero named Spider-Man, in which case in this Fate deck I have here, we only have one because I'm using the Mischief and Malice Fate deck, and there was no Spider-Man Fate deck with Spider-Man in it until Doc Ock's box came out after Venom. So there's only one Spider-Man and one Spider-Man only who Venom can take out, which I think is the Peter Parker Spider-Man card. When Venom gets him on his board, this is going to add strength to Spider-Man. This also adds strength to any heroes, I'm pretty sure. This is what's going to reduce the strength. At least I think. Actually, yeah, I'm going to get Venom's Guide out. Usually I never have to, but I think a problem with Venom is that I think his rules are written a little confusing. Symbiote tokens. Symbiote tokens have 2 sides, a Venom side and a Spider-Man side. The Venom side shows a symbiotic shows a symbiote bonded with Eddie Brock, unless stated otherwise. All symbiote tokens are played with the Venom side facing up. The Spider-Man side shows a symbiote that prefers to bond with Spider-Man. Some cards like Eternal Struggle and You're Innocent, as well as Allies Lasher and Agony, allow you to directly place symbiote tokens on heroes. Using symbiote tokens. Symbiote token is considered to be in play if it is placed on card. In play symbiote tokens in the pool are not in play. Symbiote tokens at 2 uses. First, if an ally with a symbiote token is defeated or used to resolve an event, you may return the symbiote token to the pool rather than discarding the ally. Second, You may weaken characters other than symbiotes using Venom symbiote tokens. When a symbiote token is placed on a character with the Venom side facing up, it acts as a -1 strength token. When a hero is defeated or removed, the symbiote token is returned to the pool. To win, Venom must overpower. When Venom vanquishes any Spider-Man hero, he relocates Spider-Man to any location in Venom's domain. When Venom vanquishes any Spider-Man hero. To win, Venom must lower a Spider-Man hero's strength to 0 using symbiote tokens, and the Spider-Man hero must be in Venom's domain. When Spider-Man's symbiote token is placed on Spider-Man, it acts as a +1 strength token. So I don't think if it's on the Spider-Man side, I don't think it counts for any as a +1 strength for any other hero. I think that's only Spider-Man. But yeah, Venom has to put enough of these tokens on Spider-Man equal to his strength to get him to 0 strength. So Hela is going first here. So let's see what we got with Hela, because I don't remember. Alright, we got the D-Seer. Hope I'm not butchering that. A Night Sword, Marked by Death, and Hand of Glory. I'm going to do what is typical first turn for Hela. I'm going to go to Yul. I'm going to gain 1. I am going to Fate. As Hela, the strategy with Hela is you want to be fating a lot. Alright, I get... Oh, Jesus. Okay, I get an event immediately. That sucks. Okay, we get Knock Knock. No Fate actions can be played. When played, add +1 for every shield hero in play. The reward is remove 1 shield hero from your domain. Okay, that really sucks for Hela. Hela, of all people, is probably going to struggle the most with that. Unfortunately, I don't have enough power to play anything, so this was a kind of a bum turn for me. Really hoping to get a hero. But I did not. Okay, no Fate actions. We got to remember that. No Fate actions. When played, add +1 for every shield hero in play, so it's not going to gain any strength. No. Loki has a cracked first hand because of ally strength. He has a 4/4 and a 5, and he also has the best card in his deck. We'll get to this beautiful card later when he has the mischief to pay for it. So I think I actually do this. I can go to Odin's Throne, gain 3. I'm going to spend 4 to play Thor, brother of Loki, to Knock Knock and immediately take it out because Thor beats it by 1 strength. When I use Thor, brother of Loki, is returned to your hand after being used to defeat an event. He is returned to my hand. All right. And I think that'll be Loki's turn. Get those Fate actions out of here. All right. Because there wasn't much Loki could do right there on that first turn. Venom also. All right. So his turn, his hand isn't the best. Start out with I think I'm going to go to the Fallout Shelter. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play the last thing you'll see to remove a hero from any domain. And then I'm going to discard... I'm going to discard 2 cards. I'm going to discard Merging and Slander. Don't really need Slander yet. Even though that will definitely be useful later. Do I Fate? No, I don't Fate. I think it's a little too early to Fate. Okay, Venom draws. We are... choose any number of heroes with a symbiote token on them. Remove the symbiote token from those heroes and place them onto any number of your allies. Let's visit Peter. Find any Spider-Man hero and either play or relocate them to your domain. Internal struggle. Choose a character with a symbiote token on them. Move that symbiote token to any other character at that location. Alright. And that is all Venom's going to do. He got a specialty out. That's pretty much it. Okay. Slow first 3 turns for these characters. Hela kind of got messed up. But that was my bad. Alright. I'm going to go to Odin's Vault. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 to play D-Seer to Odin's Vault. They can be played from my discard pile. So definitely use them to defeat heroes if you have to choose an ally. And then I'm going to spend another 2 to play a Night Sword here. To attach a soul, I can activate it to attach a soul mark to any hero without one at this location. So this is like a little... Haha, guess what? I'm going to take their soul if I kill them here. Right? And we're going to draw back up. We get another Marked by Death card and a card called Death's Embrace to relocate a hero with an attached soul mark to Niflheim. Is that what it's called? Alright, back to Loki. I did randomize all this, so it's kind of weird that the two Thor villains got put in a match together. Alright. I think it's time to discard. I'm going to go to the Bifrost. I'm going to gain 2. Got rid of that event there, so I think Thor, brother of Loki, has lost his purpose. And I'm going to discard 1 Frost Giant, because there's like 4 of them in my deck, so I don't need all of them. And that will be it. I'm still not fading. I want to try to give Hela the least amount of heroes to use as possible. And I got my first multiverse card, Viking Loki. If the villain whose domain in Viking Loki is played to moves to Viking Loki's location, all allies they control gain +1 strength. One of Loki's allies gains +1 strength. Loki gains 2 mischief. Viking Loki, I'd say, is probably the worst one. But either way, still ain't that bad. Alright, Venom. Pretty good idea what I'm going to do with Venom here. I'm going to go to Our Lady of Saints. In a game 2, I'm going to spend 1 to play Let's Visit Peter. Peter? Okay. Find any Spider-Man hero and either play or relocate them to your domain. Okay, so there's only 1 Spider-Man hero in here. Alright, let's see where he's at. Here he is. He's towards the bottom. Spider-Man. When Spider-Man is played, place a Spider-Man symbiote token from the pool on him. So he starts with +1 strength. He starts with 6 strength. Okay. Just gotta reshuffle this real quick because I went through a decent bit of it. Alright, let's shuffle. I'm gonna play him here. And then I'm going to play Gonna Eat Your Brains for 2. Place 2 symbiote tokens from the pool on a hero at Venom's location. Alright, so Spider-Man is now down to 4 strength. So Venom already has got a pretty good start on Spider-Man right now. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm still not going to fade anybody. Alright, we draw Lasher. When Lasher symbiote vanquishes a character, place a symbiote token from Lasher on any hero. And then... Right. Back over here now. We have, let's see here. Well, I could do something nasty with Hela. I can just take Spider-Man away from Venom. That's actually really gross. That's really mean. I'm going to go to Yol. I'm going to gain 1. I'm going to fade. Try this again. We got a hero, Black Cat. When Black Cat is played, the targeted villain loses 1 power and discards 1 random card from their hand. Alright. I think I am going to play her on Venom. I'm going to play her on top of this fade action right here. That's where she's going to go. And Venom loses 1 power and discards 1 random card from his hand. So we got boom, bye-bye. This little shuffle. Alright, this one. What do we get rid of? Oh, we get rid of Lasher. What a shame. Dang, that sucks. Lasher was going to be of use. Alright, and then I'm going to spend 1 to play Marked by Death. To choose a hero in any domain without a soul mark, attach a soul mark to that hero. I'm actually going to put it on Spider-Man. Spider-Man's going to get a soul mark. Because Hela's going to do something pretty disgusting. Price of life. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in another player's domain. Remove the soul mark from that hero, then gain power equal to that hero's strength. Alright. Going to go over here to Loki. The main thing with Loki is that he actually has quite a power struggle. Like, he can gain power, but so many of his cards are just so expensive. Alright. I'm going to go to Odin's Throne Room, gain 3. I'm going to spend 3, and I'm going to place Viking Loki. I'm going to give him the Venom. And I feel like a location that Venom's going to use quite a lot is going to be this one. The Fallout Shelter. Now, Venom has no allies on his board, but I don't really want to give that to Hela because that could just help her defeat heroes, and I don't really feel like doing that. So that's all Loki's going to do. I'm going to draw back up. We get Lorelei. Heroes at her location have their strength reduced by 2. Alright. Back over here to Venom. Okay, what is Venom going to do? Venom has no power right now. I think I'm going to do... I really need that discard action. I need that discard action. I don't know if I can use Viking Loki if I don't have no allies on my board. But I'm not going to risk breaking the rules or not breaking the rules. So I'm going to go to Throw World. And I'm going to discard... I'm going to discard my whole hand, actually. Because that hand was kind of sucky. What do we get? Agony. When Agony vanquishes a character, place a symbiote token from the pool on any Spider-Man hero in play. Internal Struggle. Again, you are not innocent. Place a symbiote token from the pool on each hero in play. Rhino. When Rhino vanquishes a character he is not discarded, instead relocate him to any other location in your domain. Rhino's kind of a beast in this game. Alright. Over here. I'm going to go to Odin's Vault. I'm going to gain 3. I am going to spend nothing to play Price of Life. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in another player's domain. Remove the soul mark from that hero, then gain power equal to that hero's strength. So, right now, Spider-Man's strength is 4. So I would gain 4 power from that, which is pretty good. Boom. And then I'm going to spend 1 to play Marked by Death to just put it right back on Spider-Man. And then I'm going to discard Hand of Glory. I don't think I'll ever actually use it. Draw back up. Hela's Bidding. Each time another player defeats a hero with an attached soul mark, gain 3 power. Death's Embrace again. And Fenris Wolf. When a hero is played to a location in your domain, you may play or relocate Fenris Wolf to that location for free. Alright, Loki time. So again, Loki's not really getting anywhere right now. He is still struggling with that power a little bit. I'm going to go to Bifrost. I'm going to discard Loki's Scepter. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 3 to play Frost Giants to the Bifrost. Bifrost are really good because when I perform Vanquish actions, I can use them at the 2 adjacent locations as well. So all 3 of these locations right now are covered by a 4 strength ally, which I think is really good. I'm going to discard the Scepter. Do I want to Fate? I think I will, just for fun. See what I get. Valkyrie. Soul marks may not be attached to Valkyrie. Wow, nice. Alright, she's going right to Odin's Vault. Right there. Soul marks cannot be attached to her. That's great. That's actually really good for us. Okay, we draw Leah, Loki's BFF. I can use an action at her location if I'm not there. Or on your turn, you may perform 1 additional action from the current location Loki's BFF is currently at. And Game with Games, which is one of the cards we can spend our Mischief that we don't have. Alright. Moving over here back to Venom. I'm going to go to the Daily Bugle. Gain 2, spend 2. I'm going to play Agony. And I am going to immediately vanquish Black Cat. And when Agony vanquishes a character, place a symbiote token from the pool on any Spider-Man hero in play. So Spider-Man immediately down to 3 strengths now. Venom's getting pretty far. Hela's going to have to do something about that. And trust me, she will. Alright, and the only other thing I can do is move an item or ally, which I don't have any of those on my board, so that's all I can do. And I draw You Are Not Innocent again. Alright, over here to Hela now. Hela is going to go to... I'll go to Hell, actually. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend nothing to play Death's Embrace. Relocate a hero with an attached soul mark to Niflheim. So we're taking Spider-Man away from Venom now. Highly unfortunate for Venom. Yeah, Spider-Man also only has 3 strength right now. And then I can discard. I'm going to discard this Death's Embrace. And draw back up. Raise the Dead. Draugr Swordsman may be played from your discard pile to your domain and marked by death. Draugr Swordsman is the most numerous ally in my deck, and I have not drawn one of those yet. And Gravity's trying to take my tripod a little bit. Just a little bit flimsy. But it's okay. It works. Alright. Now Loki can do stuff. I'm going to go to Odin's throne room. Gain 3. I'm going to spend 3 to play Leah, and then use her to gain 3 again. She is the best way for Loki to gain a significant amount of power. But right now, I really need to just start finding those multiverse cards. Hey, King Loki. When King Loki is in a villain's domain, allies removed due to a Vanquish action are returned to that villain's hand. Loki gains 1 mischief per ally used in Vanquish action. Oh, he could give that to Hela. If he gives that to Hela, that could be really good for Loki. But that could also be really good for Hela in some cases. But I think it would be better for Loki overall. Alright, back to Venom. Venom's kind of in a rough spot right now. Which is not good. We're going to go over here. You Are Not Innocent. I'm going to Fate. See what I get. Infiltrated. An event. All allies currently in play receive a -1 strength token. Any ally that is played receives a -1 strength token. That is unfortunate. All allies receive a -1. So that's Loki's Frost Giants, Loki's BFF, and the DCer for Hela. And now every ally played is going to get a -1 strength. Alright, Venom's going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play You Are Not Innocent. Place a symbiote token from the pool on each hero in play, which would currently be Valkyrie and Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is down to 2 strength now, but Hela's kind of trying to do nasty things right now. Because she could just reset Spider-Man's progress anytime she wanted to, pretty much. And I'm going to draw back up. Internal Struggle again. What we really need to find is this Let's Visit Peter card. Two strength. Yeah, I think I know what I'm going to do here. Go to Niflheim. Move these DCer over. And vanquish Spider-Man with the DCer. Keep these guys in a separate discard pile so I know who I can play. Spider-Man just couldn't survive. Hela gains a soul mark, her first one. Spider-Man's gone. She has reset Venom entirely. What a shame. What a shame indeed. Okay. Now I could play something. I could also Fate. I am going... I'm going to spend 2 to play Fenris to Odin's Vault. She will gain a -1 strength token. But luckily Valkyrie also has a -1 strength token. And I'll Fate. Fate intervenes. Shuffle the target player's discard pile into their villain deck. Loki's is smaller, and Venom has a lot of useful cards in his, so I would choose Loki. Loki's going to get his discard pile shuffled into his villain deck. He only had like 2 cards in there, so... Alright. Draw back up. She gets a DCer. Alright, now it's Loki's turn. What will Loki do? Alright, well... let's see here. I'm going to go here, gain 2. I'm going to spend 3 to play King Loki to Hela's board. I'm going to play him at Yule. So now whenever Hela uses a Vanquish action, those allies will be returned to her hand, but Loki is going to benefit from that. I'm going to move Frost Giants to this event, Infiltrated. So that's 3 of the 8 strength down. And do I want to discard anything? I'm going to discard Games Within Games, and I'm going to Fate. Odin Force. When Odin Force is played, attach it to a hero. If this hero has an attached soul mark, remove it. This hero cannot have a soul mark attached and gains Protector. Well, the only hero I can attach it to is Valkyrie. And then that looks like it'll be it. Okay, we draw Frost Giants again, and just trust me, pay 2 power to gain 1 mischief or spend 1 mischief to gain 2 power. Still have no power as mischief as Loki yet. Loki's definitely getting a slow start here. Venom had a great start, all to be ruined by Hela's goal, pretty much. And now there's really nothing Venom can do. So I am going to go to Thrill World and discard my entire hand, which is unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4. One draw. Let's visit Peter card. All right, yeah, let's visit Peter. Protecting Innocence. It's me, Eddie, and Riot. All right, damn. I'm so upset about what happened to Venom, man. that felt so dirty. All right, go to hell. I'm actually going to play Deseer for 2 after gaining that 2 and vanquish Valkyrie with them, because I kind of want to keep Fenris on the board. So Valkyrie's gone. That symbiote token's returned to Venom. And I have a discard left. I don't want to discard anything. I don't think I want to put the power into playing that. That could be a really good card, but I don't think I really want to put the power into playing that right now. Hell to pay. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in your domain, perform a vanquish action, and defeat that hero, and Hell to pay again. Alright. Hela now has 2 of the 8 that she needs. Oh, no, never mind. Put one of those Hell to pays back. That Deseer gets returned to her hand because of Loki. And Loki gains 1 mischief for that. Oh, not spent. Yep. Loki finally has his first mischief. Baby steps, you know? Alright. I think Loki's going to start getting a lot more powerful soon. Go to Odin's Throne Room, gain 3, spend 3 to play Frost Giants. They get a -1 strength token. I'm going to move them over here. Okay, that's 6 strength on there. And then I can use Leah to do something. I think I'm just going to use her to gain 3 power again. Right, draw back up. Power of a God. Spend a number of mischief tokens equal to the strength of any hero in any domain. Remove that hero and any equal or lesser strength ally in the same domain. Right? Alright. Back to Venom, who's still struggling a little bit. Go here to Our Lady of Saints. Gain 2, spend 1 to play Let's Visit Peter. Let's get Spider-Man back. Here he is. I'm going to play to the Daily Bugle, actually. We do place that Spider-Man on him. I have 1 power left. that I can't even use. So we're going to draw back up. Self-preservation, another garbage card. And I'll fate. Actually, I'll fate real quick. I got Scarlet Spider. When Scarlet Spider is played, place out the 4 Venom symbiote tokens from any Spider-Man hero and played on Scarlet Spider. Let's give Loki a little bit. Let's put him at Odin's Vault so Loki can't gain that much more money. Because Venom knows that Loki can gain mischief really fast after he gets started. Alright. I am going here to Odin's Vault and gaining 3. I am spending 2 to play D-Seer. I'm going to play him over to the event. And that, even with the -1 strength token, gives it just enough strength to defeat the event. And for that, all of their allies gain, in play, get +2 strength. Which is really just +1 strength. But, you know. That only counts for Loki and Hela, not Venom, because Venom did not put forth an ally to help with the event. Alright. And then I'm going to discard 1, and I can still play something. I'm going to spend 2 to play Raise the Dead, so Draugr Swordsman can be played from my discard pile. And we're going to keep this marked for death card, and we're going to draw back up. Another Hell to pay, Death's Embrace, Price of Life. Alright, kind of setting up the same thing that Hela just had on Spider-Man. Again. Alright, back over here to Loki. So his allies will no longer gain -1 strength each time he plays them. I am going to go to the Bifrost. I'm going to use Leah's ability to relocate her to the Bifrost. And then I'm going to gain 2, and I'm going to spend 2 to play Just Trust Me to spend 2 power to gain 1 mischief. Boom. And then I won't discard anything, actually. Sorcerer Supreme Loki, that is my favorite one. When taking a fate action, a villain whose domain Sorcerer Supreme Loki is played draws 3 fate cards and plays 1, then discards the other. Loki gains 1 mischief each time that villain takes a fate action. So it's not the most useful. It's the most expensive, but it's definitely not the most useful. It could actually definitely hurt Loki, but Loki will still gain mischief for that, for an action that people take rather often. I think I give in to this. Go here, all allies gain +1 strength, one of Loki's allies gains +1 strength, and Loki gains 2 mischief. I don't think... It doesn't work if he doesn't gain the benefits of it, right? If the villains who domain Viking Loki's played moves to Viking Loki's location, all allies they control gain +1 strength, one of Loki. I think it activates though if he simply just moves there. So Loki still gains that. Right? So he gains 2 mischief as well. But at the end of the day, I think I just had to have Venom give into this location. He needs money, man. I'm going to move here. I'm going to discard that card for now, actually. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play Protecting Innocence. Draw cards equal to the number of heroes with symbiote tokens on them. Discard down to 4 cards. Yeah, I'm also going to discard Riot. Don't really need Riot right now. And I'm going to Fate. Don't draw another event, please. Okay, I draw Symbiote Suit. At any time a Symbiote Suit is in Venom's domain is in effect. If Symbiote Suit is in a domain art of Venom, Symbiote Suit is a hero with no additional ability, but they also have 5 strength. I'm going to put him to Odin's Vault. If Hela wants to take Venom's hope away, we're going to try to take Hela's hope away. We draw, what's her name? Scream, Scorpion, and Let's Visit Peter. Alright. Scorpion. When Scorpion is played, place a symbiote token from the pool on him. When performing a Vanquish action, Scorpion may be used to defeat a character at their location or at an adjacent location. And where is Scream at? When Scream symbiote is played, place a +1 strength token on each other ally symbiote in play. Each time an ally symbiote is played, place a +1 strength token on that ally. Okay, we're not getting a lot of what I need with Venom, which is like the Eat Your Brains card and the You're Not Innocent cards. Alright, back over here to Hela. Alright. Well, I'm going to go... I'm going to go here. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play Marked for Death. And put a soul mark on Symbiote Suit Spider-Man. I still gain that 1. Alright. Let's see here. Dude, we're almost halfway through our deck, and we are halfway through our deck. Actually, I think a little over, and we have not drawn a single Draugr Swordsman yet. We've actually only drawn 3 of her allies. She's going to start getting a lot of allies soon. Alright. And then I am going to discard Death's Embrace and Price of Life. Can't perform a Fate action right now. But I'm going to get rid of Hell to Pay too. Alright, boom. DCer marked by death, Draugr Swordsman. Draugr Swordsman. Here's the Draugr Swordsman. Now we're starting to get them. Alright, I think Hell is going to start progressing nicely soon. Meanwhile, Loki and Venom have barely progressed at all at this point. Alright, Loki's back. I'm going to go to the Sanctum Sanctorum and gain 2. I'm going to spend 4 to play Sorcerer Supreme Loki. I'm going to play him to Hell. He's going to go to Hell. Now, if Hela takes a Fate action, well, Loki's going to gain an Ambition, or Mischief. And then, I'm going to spend 3 to play... I'm going to use Leah to use a play card action there to spend 3. Ooh, actually, no, I'm not playing Power of a God, because I'd have to remove Leah if I did that. Don't want to do that, actually. Instead of Power of a God, I'm going to use her to spend 4 to play the 10 Realms. At the start of your turn, you may spend 3 Mischief. Move Loki to the same location as a multiverse character. You may use that location's actions. Remain there until your next turn. Other villains may not move to your current location. Return to any location in your domain on your next turn. Yeah, you read that right. Loki can use this to move to another hero's board. Which, that's the first... Loki was the first character in any Villainous set who could do that, and it was just so cool. It was so cool how they added that in. Loki's just super fun to play in general. How many Mischief is that? It's 3, right? Yeah, spend a 3 Mischief. Alright. Over here now. Back to Venom. Still not able to do much. I think I'm going to go to Thrill World. And I'm just going to discard... I'm going to discard 3 cards. I'm going to keep Let's Visit Peter, though. And draw back up. God damn. Wow, dude. This is not good. Not good. Not looking good for Venom here. What Hela did was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Alright. Actually gonna roll up my chair a little bit. Alright. So Hela here. Still has that guy on his board. I'm gonna end up giving Loki Mischief if I kill him. If I take him away. Then I'm going to go to Odin's Vault. I'm going to gain 3. And I'm going to spend 1 to place a Draugr Swordsman here. Draugr Swordsman gains 1 strength for each Draugr Swordsman in my discard pile. Alright. And I think that's all I'm going to do with Hela right now. Draw it back up to 1. Or 4. I get another Knight Sword. Alright. Back over to Loki. I'm assuming you can see his board. Let me make sure. Yeah, you can see his board just fine. Alright, Loki. Loki's running out of money a little bit. Well, first I'm going to spend 3 mischief to move somewhere, actually. I can move anywhere with a multiverse character. So, there's 3 mischief spent now. Really nice. Good amount of mischief to spend right off the bat. And now I'm going to move him over to Venom's board. Alright, let's go over here to Venom's board. So I can gain 2 here. This is actually just the same exact location as Leah Loki's BFF, or as the Bifrost location. I'm going to use her to gain 2 power off of Loki's board, and also gain 2 power for him off of Venom's board. So he has 4 power right now. Let's see here. I don't play the cards to this board. I play them to Loki's board, of course. I only have 1 mischief now, so I'm just gonna play Just Trust Me to spend 1 mischief to gain 2 power. There, boom. I spent all 4 of the mischief I had, and now I gain 2 extra power. Now I can discard and fate. I'm going to discard 1 power of a god card. And I can fate. I'm going to fate, yeah. Let's see what I get. Incoming another event. All heroes currently in play receive a +1 strength token. Any hero that is in play receives a +1 strength token. Damn. Alright. Scarlet Spider gains +1 strength. Spider-Man gains +1 strength. And the symbiote suit Spider-Man gains +1 strength. Gonna draw back up with Loki. I draw a Frost Giant and a Just Trust Me. Keeping my tripod over there with Venom. Because now we are on Venom's turn. I'm going to go to Our Lady of Saints. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to play Slander, even though it's only going to give me 1 power. But it's money regardless, and it's a free card, and I need cards out of my hand. Okay. He has actual money now. And then that's going to be it. I'm just going to have my turn there. Phage. When Phage Symbiote is played, all heroes in Venom's domain other than Spider-Man heroes get -1 strength. Ugh, this is not good. Venom's not drawing anything good, man. Alright, back over to Hela. We have a good amount of allies now. I'm going to... I need to kill that symbiote suit. He does have a whopping 6 strength, though. I could use Fenrir, but do I really want to? Think I'm going to go to Hell. I'm going to spend 2 to play, after gain 2 to play DCer. Discard a Draugr Swordsman. So I have 3 discard piles now. Discard a Draugr Swordsman to give this guy +1 strength, and then use these guys to vanquish him. They go back in my hand. Loki does gain 2 mischief, though, from that. I do get a soul mark. So Hell is currently at 3 right now. 3 of 8. But she can play pretty much almost every ally she has in her deck from her discard pile now. And I'm going to discard one Knight Sword. And I think I'm going to focus on playing allies now. So I'm going to discard this Marked by Death card. We got the Midgard Serpent and Marked by Death again. Alright. I think we're just going to start seeing just how quickly Hela's going to win this. Okay. Loki moves back to his board now. Where do I want to move to? Let's see here. I have 2 fresh mischief to spend. I think I'm going to go to the Bifrost. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 3 to play Frost Giants to the Bifrost. And then I am going to spend 2 to play Just Trust Me with Lorelei's ability. Or Leah. No, Lorelei's in my hand. Leah. To gain 1 mischief. And actually I'm going to take those Frost Giants back. Take my 3 power back, but I'm going to spend 2 to actually play Leah. Nope, wrong card. Lorelei, I mean. Heroes at Lorelei's location have their strength reduced by 2. That's -1/-1. So he's at a 3 now. And, yeah, I think I'll fade. Oh, shit. I can't play it on myself, though. So I do just discard this, right? Do I have to play it on myself? It's messed up if I do. All right. If you draw a targeted event card for your villain, discard it without effect. Okay, so no, I cannot do that. One of the coolest cards ever, though. This card is dope as hell. I love it. So cool. Loki cannot spend mischief. The reward, though, is remove a total number of heroes and allies equal to the number of spent mischief you have. These can be chosen from any or all domains. Alright, but Ragnarok will not be played today. Right. And draw back up. We get Lady Loki and Power of a God again. Lady Loki, when the villain whose domain Lady Loki is played fills their hand, they may take cards from their discard pile and or their villain deck. Loki gains 1 mischief for each card taken from the discard pile. Alright, back to Venom. He's got that adrenaline momentum. Alright, I'm going to go to Thrill World and discard 3 cards from my hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we draw. There's the Gonna Eat Your Brains card. Slander, and It's Me, Eddie. And that is it for Venom's turn. Okay, back over here to Hela. She's gonna start gaining a lot of progress soon. Right now, actually. Gonna go to Odin's Vault. Gonna gain 3. I am going to spend 3, actually. I'm going to play the Midgard Serpent to Odin's Vault. And then I'm going to spend 1 to play Draugr Swordsman to here. There's 1 Draugr Swordsman in my discard pile. So this Draugr Swordsman will gain 1 strength. I'm going to discard Marked by Death, and I'm going to draw back up. Okay. I get Soul for a Soul. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in any domain and remove that hero. If you do, you may defeat a hero in Hela's domain. And 2 more Draugr Swordsmans. So Hela actually has what she needs to win. She just doesn't have enough play card actions to play them all right now. Definitely going to need to get some heroes to Odin's Vault then. Alright. So Loki's turn. I am going to go over to Sanctum Sanctorum. I am going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play Lady Loki. And I think Venom's going to be really tempted by this. I'm going to play Lady Loki to Our Lady of Saints, because she is going to be a Lady of Sainthood to Venom, pretty much. Going to let Venom get some cards out of a discard pile. Then I'm going to use Leah to perform a play card action in her location. Spend 3 to pay Power of a God. He has 3 strength right now, so I'm going to spend... It's choose a character in any domain, actually. Choose a hero in any domain. The only hero that I can possibly afford right now, though, is Scarlet Spider. And it clears up that 3 power, so... Spend 3 mischief. I do have to remove a character with equal or more strength on my side of the board. But either way, Scarlet Spider is gone. Finally off of Loki's board. Set up so I can see what card I just used. Make sure I'm using it right. Yeah, I am. Okay. And we're going to draw back up. Verity Willis. When Verity Willis is played, Loki's hand size is 5 cards. However, all cards drawn from your deck are shown to the other players before being put into your hand. And his final multiverse card, Kid Loki. The villain whose domain Kid Loki is played to moves to Kid Loki's location. They gain 4 power, and Loki gains 1 power and 2 mischief. Alright. Usually in a Loki game, I don't end up getting all of my multiverse cards out, but I think this might just be that kind of game. Alright, so Venom. Right? Venom. Well, I'm going to move to Our Lady of Saints, gain 2. Oh, wait, no, actually, I have to be here to use it. Move here. Spend 2 to play Gonna Eat Your Brains. Place 2 symbiote tokens from the pool on any hero at Venom's location. Min 2. And at this point, I don't think any getting this card back and giving Loki 1 mischief would hurt. So Loki's going to gain 1 mischief for that. He is currently at 7 mischief spent. Well, hopefully they can draw a fate card that can make Loki lose mischief. Alright, back over here now to Hela's board. Let's see here. Go to Hell. Gain 2, spend 2. I'm going to play some more DC here. I'm going to start playing them over here now. So she is currently now at 6. And I'm going to discard 1 card and draw back up. Alright, we got Leah. She's also in this deck. When Leah is played, you may attach a soul mark to 1 hero at her location, and we get a soul for a soul again. Alright, back over to Loki. I'm going to go to the throne room. I'm going to move Leah over. I'm going to gain 3. I'm going to spend 2 to play Kid Loki. And I am going to play him to the Daily Bugle. He's going to be on Venom's board. So Loki actually has all 5 of his multiverse cards out now. I think he's definitely gotten more value from Hela so far. And then I can use her to either gain 3 power or play a card. I'm just going to use her to gain 3 again. Alright. We draw games within games, spend 2 mischief. You may relocate any multiverse card to either a new domain or a new location in the same domain, or remove it from play to your discard pile, if you think they're getting a little too much value out of it. Alright. So Venom is here again. I'm going to move to Our Lady of Saints. Gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play It's Me, Eddie. Relocate any hero from any domain to any location in your domain. So I'm going to take Spider-Man over here. And I'm going to spend 2 to play Gonna Eat Your Brains. To place 2 symbiote tokens from the pool on Spider-Man. So Spider-Man now has 3 strength left. For sure. Yeah, because what? That's 7. And he has 4. Yeah, so 3 strength. And then I can Fate. I'm going to Fate. What do I get? I get Sif. When Sif is played to a domain, remove 1 ally from that domain back to that villain's hand. If played or relocated to Loki's domain, Loki may defeat this card by spending 3 mischief. Okay, definitely don't play her. Loki then. I'm going to play her to Odin's Vault. And I'm going to remove the Midgard Serpent back to Hela's hand. She also is going to get a +1 strength because of that event. And I'm going to give Loki 1 more mischief by gaining this card back. But that's all he's going to get. I'm not getting another card from my discard pile. Don't want to give Loki too much, you know? Got to reshuffle now. All right, how many cards do I draw? I just need 1, right? Yeah, 1. We get Scorpion. Not super ideal. All right. Back over here to Hela. Go to Niflheim. Actually, no, I'm going to go to Odin's Vault. I'm going to gain 3. And I am going to spend 2 to play Leah here. When Leah is played, you may attach a soul mark to 1 hero at her location. Here's a soul mark on her. So what? That would be if she would get rid of her right now, she would be 1 away from winning. All right. And that's all Hela's going to do. Yeah, the Midgard Serpent. I don't have to draw back up. All right. Loki's turn. I'm going to move to the Bifrost. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 2 to play Veridity Willis. And I'm going to discard 1. And then I'm going to Fate. Show a target player's discard pile into her villain deck. Yes, I'll 100% do that to Hela. Just so she can't play any of these allies from her discard pile. So, all of her cards get shuffled back together. She was about to reshuffle anyway. But she still could have played those allies from her discard pile. And definitely didn't want to do that. Alright. I'm also going to discard Frost Giants. And now I draw back up to 5. Who's the tricky one? Destroyer, Power of a God, and Thor, Brother of Loki. Alright. Not super good for Loki. I think Loki's panicking a little bit right now. Because I think Hela and Venom are closer to winning than Loki is. Alright, so what is Venom going to do? If Venom moves to any location other than Thrill World, it's not going to be great. I'm going to go... Let's see here. I really want to Fate. That's the problem. Oh, but if I Fate... I'm going to do it. See if I can remove Mischief from Loki. Move here, gain 2. Loki's, one of his allies are going to get +1 strength, and he's going to get 2 Mischief. I'm going to put it on Veridity. I'm I'm going to Fate. I draw Banished. If the targeted villain's current power is reduced to 1, if the targeted villain is Loki, you can choose Power or Collected Mischief. Yeah, I can move him back down to 1 Mischief. Cool. Alright. Loki got nothing out of that turn. He actually lost. Huge gamble on my part. Yeah, I'm going to discard 2 cards and draw back up. Self-preservation, you are not innocent. Alright. Back over to Hela now. Hela still has to get rid of Sif. Alright. I'm going to go over to Hell. I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to spend 1 to play a Soul for a Soul. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in any domain and remove that hero. If you do, you may defeat a hero in Hela's domain. So Sif is gone. I have 3 soul marks now. And 4 allies. She just needs to play 1 more ally. And her whole hand is allies. Draugr Swordsman, D-Seer, and the Midgard Serpent. Woo! This isn't looking good for Loki, actually. This is not looking good for Loki at all. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to... Do I even have 6 power yet? I do. I'm going to spend 6 power to play the Destroyer, and I'm going to relocate him to Odin's Vault using Leah's ability. And when he is there, he acts as a hero with the Protector ability. When this card is defeated, Loki gains 3 Mischief. And I'm going to Fate Heimdall. When Heimdall is played, the targeted villain must discard 2 random cards from her hand. I'm also going to play him to Odin's Vault. Alright. Hela's just going to end up losing some allies here. Trying to stop Hela from winning as much as possible. Okay, 2 cards. Get rid of the Midgard Serpent and the Draugr Swordsman. Okay, Draugr Swordsman do get placed in their own special discard pile, but the Midgard Serpent, probably Hela's best ally right now, is gone. Alright. I can't do anything else. And I don't draw back up because my hand is full. Oh wait, no, Veridity lets me drop to 5. Never mind. Alright. Do the Scepter of Loki. Back to Venom. He is going to go to the Lady of Saints. Spend 2 to play Gonna Eat Your Brains. That puts Spider-Man down to... What, that's -6? Puts him down to 1 strength. Then he's going to spend 2 to play You Are Not Innocent. Place a symbiote token from the pool on each hero in play. Alright. Should be all of them. Alright. Venom is our first winner. That's crazy. Now it's a battle of Loki and Hela. So, the thing with Loki's multiverse cards, I'm going to leave the board up. I'm going to leave the board up. I'm going to remove Venom and Spider-Man. I'm going to put all of his cards away. I'm going to leave those symbiote tokens on the heroes on Hela's board. But Loki can still move to these locations if he wishes to. But he will not gain any mischief from anything. The thing with doing this whole Marvel Villainous tournament is that some characters like Loki and Kang kind of struggle when other players win before them. And it kind of hurts them a little bit. So I try to find ways that can give them like a little bit of an advantage, you know? But Venom is our first winner. His board is still open for business for Loki. And now we are over here with Loki and Hela. Alright, so over to Hela right now. She only has 2 cards in her hand. She needs to get rid of Heimdall, but she needs, even worse, she needs to get rid of the Destroyer first. I'm going to move to Yol. I'm going to activate the Night Sword. to put a soul token on the Destroyer. The Destroyer does only have 3 strength thanks to the Venom token. And then I'm going to gain 1. I'm going to spend 2 to play DCer here. So if she didn't have any heroes there, Hela would win right now. But you see, the problem is that she has 2 heroes on our board. And I'm going to Fate. What do I get? Silver Sable. I'm going to place her to the Bifrost. It's going to Bifrost, take away one of Loki's Fate locations. We draw Marked for Death, Hand of Glory, and Hell to Pay. Okay, I don't think I really see a world in where Hela still wins this game. But you never know, right? Alright. I'm going to move here. I'm going to gain... Actually, no, I'm going to move to the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm going to discard my... I'm going to discard 3 cards from my hand. And I am going to use... I'm going to gain 2. And I'm going to use Leah's ability to gain 3. Oh, all heroes currently in play receive a +1 strength token. Forgot about that ability. So, Heimdall and the Destroyer. I don't think the Destroyer gets one because he's played before he's a hero. So I don't think the Destroyer actually counts, but Heimdall does gain +1 strength. Alright. Just trust me, the most brilliant jest and games within games. Alright, back over here to Hela. Alright. Hela still needs to kill. I'm going to go to Niflheim. I'm going to spend 2 to use Hell to Pay. Choose a hero with an attached soul mark in your domain. Perform a vanquish action to defeat that hero. So Loki gains that mischief. The Destroyer is gone. I'm just going to use one of these DCer here. Alright. The Destroyer is gone. The symbiote tokens return to Venom. And she gains this soul mark in her vault. And then Heimdall has 4 strength. I'm going to vanquish... This Draugr Swordsman gets +1 strength for another Draugr Swordsman being in the discard pile. I'm going to actually use these guys to vanquish Heimdall. And short story short, she does not win yet. But if she can vanquish Loki, she might have a chance. Or she can fate Loki properly. Alright, let's see what we get. Anne Wayne. When Anne Wayne is defeated, Venom loses all power. If a villain other than Venom defeats Anne Wayne, they gain 2 power. Damn. Place her at Odin's throne room. And, I guess for the final turn, Loki's going to spend 3 mischief. Let's bring Loki over here. He's going to gain 3 mischief. And he's going to go visit his buddy, Sorcerer Supreme in Hell. And with that, Loki spends the 10 mischief he needs, and he wins the game. Hela has been defeated. As I kind of expected, it's much easier to counter Hela than it is Loki and Venom. I feel like I probably could have done more with Hela to stop Venom from winning, but I also needed to stop worrying so much about what Venom was doing and trying to get all my allies out. I think the problem with Hela is that I just wasn't drawing the amount of allies I needed, and a lot of the times I tried to fade, I either drew an effect or an event. Loki got a little scary for Loki because he had such a slow start. He just wasn't getting his multiverse cards out. He wasn't getting any cards that could gain mischief. And Venom had a great start, which was thwarted by some nastiness from Hela. So, but yeah, either way, pretty fun. Thank you everybody so much for watching. The next game is going to be Madam Mask versus Dr. Octopus versus Killmonger. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.